Hi everyone, good evening. In this lecture series, we are going to see about the topic in AM modulation. So these are all the flow of contents, the introduction part. So what do you mean by amplitude modulation? How the amplitude modulation work? What are all the advantages, applications, and the last is conclusion. So already we know that what do you mean by modulation. In the last video, we have discussed about what do you mean by modulation. So we are having so many types of modulation, that is amplitude modulation, frequency modulation, phase modulation. So what is the purpose of the amplitude modulation and why we are going for the amplitude modulation means it can be utilized for transmitting the information, and it modulates the amplitude of the carrier signal in accordance with the information, and it is also allow the long distance communications. We are going to discuss about the various applications and advantages and disadvantages in the modern communication system. So before entering how the amplitude modulation works, the first thing we have to know the definition of the amplitude modulation. The amplitude of the carrier signal is varied according to the amplitude of the modulating signal. So the amplitude of the carrier signal, it contains no information, and the amplitude of the signal and each instant which contains the information. The carrier amplitude varied linearly by the modulating signal. It consists of the range of audio frequency. Here, the frequency of the carrier is not affected. So how the amplitude modulation works? So we are having some of the methods or the signals. We are going to represent how the amplitude modulation works with the help of the carrier signal, modulating signal, and we are going to see the mathematical expression of the amplitude modulation and frequency spectrum. So with the help of these terms only, the amplitude modulation works. So this is the signal representation of the amplitude modulation. The first one is the message signal. The next one will be the carrier signal. The third one will be the amplitude modulated signal. So here the carrier signal will be in the form of high frequency signal. It is denoted by AC, and the message signal, it is nothing but the low frequency signal. It is denoted by AM. So here the amplitude of the carrier signal is varied according to the amplitude of the modulating signal. So here we are getting the AM envelope. So here we are having the maximum amplitude and the minimum amplitude we have noted down, and the carrier plus message signal is nothing but AM plus DC. So if we want to represent a signal, it should be in the form of mathematical expression. So the modulating signal here I have represented as AM cos 2 pi fpt, and the carrier signal will be AC cos 2 pi fct. We know that AM and AC are the amplitude of the modulating signal and the carrier signal respectively. So FC and FM, it is nothing but the frequency of the modulating signal and the carrier signal. So while solving all those equation, we will get the amplitude modulated wave will be S of t is equal to, that is AC 1 plus Ka into m of t cos 2 pi fct. So here m, it is a constant, so it depends upon the modulation index what we have discussed earlier. While coming to the advantages of the communication system, it will be simple. So the technology, whatever it can be equipped required for AM transmission or cost effective, and it is accessible for various applications. The long range, it can travel long distance due to their ability to reflect the ionosphere. Robustness, AM is less susceptible to certain types of the noise and the interference compared to other modulation techniques. So applications of AM modulation, AM broadcasting we are using, and aviation communication, two-way radio communication. These are all the applications of the amplitude modulation. While coming to that of the conclusion, it plays a vital role in the development of communication technologies, and it has some limitation, and it is used in some certain areas of broadcasting and communication. The AM may adapt and integrate with the newer systems in the communication landscape. So this is the assessment question. The band we are going to measure the bandwidth of the AM signal. Suppose if the mu value exceeds 1, what happens in the AM system? It will lead to the distortion.